those very catchy. Cameroon ain't ready for that yet. But I started, my capital was 0 francs. If you want to get the short way out of life, get a mentor.
Hello my lovely viewers, you're welcome back to the channel and you're welcome to the city of Buea. It is a beautiful day out here in the city of Buea, which is the capital of the southwest region of Cameroon. Buea is actually an administrative and business hub, okay, where we have the textile industry, woodwork, and whatever you think of. Buea is that hub, and it is also known as the town of legendary hospitality. And do you know that Buea is the host of the highest mountain in sub-Saharan Western and Central Africa? Oh yes, we call that mountain Mount Fako, which is also known as Mount Cameroon. So let's drift back to our focus for today. So our guest today is a powerhouse entrepreneur who is redefining the real estate and interior designing when she turns raw material, as you see, to a beautiful furniture where you can tell a house has become a home. She is the CEO of Zoloth Holdings. It is a real estate company that also deals with the sales of construction materials and interior design. So we are here at one of the properties of our guest today. Her name is Madam Louise Beary Anong. She is the owner of this beautiful property you see right here, and this is just one of her properties. And we are going to discuss with her how she got to this level and what were the challenges and hurdles she faced before arriving to this level. This is Diana Nebanku, and you're on to Grow with Diana. Let's get started. My lovely viewers, you are welcome back, and we are right here with the CEO of Zoloth Holdings. She is our guest today, and she goes by the name Madam Louise Beary Anong. Thank you so much, Madam Louise Beary Anong, for having us and for deciding to share your journey with our viewers.
Thank you for having me.
So, Zoloth Holdings covers a massive ecosystem of land development, building material constructions, and of course, interior design. Did you start with a particular niche, or was the vision always to own a massive empire like this?
The empire is not yet massive, for starters. But yes, I always had the dream to own something very big, an empire, to leave a legacy. But of course, you never just start building a legacy from a legacy. You start from somewhere. So we started small. As a matter of fact, I started this business when I was in my second year in the university. And I started out as a house agent here in the Southwest region. Thereafter, when I graduated, I now moved into real estate proper. I actually worked for another real estate company for over 3 years before starting out real estate on my own as the company, as Zoloth Holdings. So we started as land bankers. Precisely, the niche was just doing land banking as at the time, telling people to invest their money now, leave it for a couple of years, it grows in value, and then you can resell or maybe utilize yourself maybe for residential or commercial purposes. But then the niche, of course, grew. But for starters, or when we were starting out, we had a niche. We always called people out to do land banking, invest your money here, and let it grow.
Okay, so tell us, you already mentioned how the starting was, but how did you finally find your feet as a woman in a traditionally male-dominated industry?
It's not easy, but one thing I did earlier that has really helped me over time and will continue to help me is I made God my anchor. And like he says, with God all things are possible. Being a woman in the field, it's not easy. It's one of the most difficult things, being that you're in the midst of men and in a male-dominated field. For you to be able to thrive, you can't do that without God. I realized that early, and I made God my anchor.
So as you started and you continued in the field, tell me, what was that specific moment or project that made you say, wow, okay, this is actually a thing, we are going to be huge with this?
When I bought my first hectares of land, that was actually the first time I was buying to resell. Now, when I was working for this real estate company that I made mention of after school, I owned lands, a couple of lands, as benefits of working with them, because they too are a real estate development company. But the turning point came when I bought lands, hectares for myself, and then started reselling, started seeing the money off of this field, right? That was when I said, okay, Louise Beary, you can actually do this. This can be big. Okay, yeah, that was the time.
So sales of construction material, sales of land, and then interior design. These are like two massive separate fields. So tell me, how do you manage the challenges of handling these two vast projects?
I didn't build Zoloth Holdings alone.
Okay.
Yeah. I may be the face, the CEO, but we do have a structure in the company and we have a system of how things work. So it's not like everything is totally dependent on me now. I handle what I can handle. Yes, some of the decision making processes are on me, but we have a system, we have a construction manager, we have a project manager, we have a field manager, we have several managers that handle each of these fields that we're actively involved in. That makes it easy because all they have to do is report to me. All I have to do is finance, see through everything. Since there's already a system, more like a funnel, everything flows down. Okay, so it's not that everything is dependent on me like that, but there's a system that just handles everything to make it easy, because of course if I have to handle all of that, I'm going to burn out at some point. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, well,
Need support. So I know land investment is quite capital intensive as well as building construction. So how did you manage to get the fundings to get to this level?
I'm going to tell you something, and it's not going to sound very realistic, but my capital was 0 francs.
Wow.
I actually built my wealth or everything that I have off of people's money. I had to learn. I got a mentor, Apostle Samuel Imolombe. He is my mentor. He has taught me right from when I was in my second year in the university, taught me everything about business. As a matter of fact, there was a time when I wanted to give up. I was like, I'm done. This is too hectic. It's so hard. But he said, hey, look, you can do this. If you believe in yourself and you believe in God, then you can make this happen. So one of the benefits I had was I have a mentor who is still my mentor now and is always going to remain my mentor. So I have a mentor that literally guides me through everything. Yeah. And because I have a mentor, I didn't have to have a capital, right? Because I already had the knowledge that I needed to be able to execute on my own.
So you said you started with 0 capital. Someone listening to you right now and with 0 capital is wondering, what do I need? Do I also need a mentor? And I'll just become a CEO just like Madam Louise Beary. Or what advice can you give them? A young lady listening to you now with 0 capital.
One advice that I'm going to give, now this is not a Cameroonian thing. I learned this from my Nigerian counterparts. I don't practice real estate like how real estate is practiced in Cameroon. I think that's what makes me different, because I look at the world standards. As a matter of fact, last year, 24th of November, last year, 2025, we had our first property show in Dubai. We were the first Cameroonian company to carry a property show to Dubai. We had many people in attendance. We taught them how to invest back home, showcased our properties people bought. So if you're a young girl or a young guy, you're looking at starting out a business, I'm not saying you should say Miss Louise started out with 0 capital, then you too can start. This thing differs with people. Differs with the knowledge that you have at your disposal, with how much faith you have in yourself, how much faith you have in God, how much of God you have in you. And what I said about this is not a Cameroonian thing, is you're looking for a mentor. If let's say you want to do fashion, Get somebody that fears God, that is in the fashion industry. They are going to teach you how to win in that industry even without having money. How you can start your own business in that industry without having money. If you're into real estate or you want to get into real estate like I am, look for someone that is into real estate. They'll teach you how you can get into real estate without having money. As a matter of fact, you can start real estate without having money. You can start out as being a broker, right? You can broker for other people, be the middleman between the buyer and the seller. That's how you can start out. Maybe put some capital together, then you can now start buying and reselling. But that's the whole process. If you want to get the short way out of life, get a mentor. It is of utmost importance. You cannot do life without anybody directing you. You can't do life. You cannot succeed without somebody showing you, do this, don't do that. Because when you have a mentor, they show you the shortcuts.
Okay.
Yeah, they show you the shortcuts because
Because they have been there.
they have been there, right? It's the same thing as they'll tell you, read books, do this, listen to podcasts and all. Get a mentor. It is real life. You can't take the American way of life and then you want to put that in the African way of life. Those are two different people, two different continents entirely. So if you want to succeed here, you should look for a mentor here, submit and be willing to learn. Get the knowledge that you need. If me, who is a woman, is telling you get a mentor, that you need a mentor. They are going to make things super easy for you. But if you're getting one that is not God fearing, that is not willing to teach you, then you're not doing yourself good, right? So if you're getting one, get somebody that is God fearing, that has a fear of God in them, because the fear of God makes you to not do things the wrong way. But if you don't have the fear of God, they're just going to use you, just turn you around, don't teach you what you need to know. So get someone that has the fear of God in them, that is into business or into the business that you are looking at getting into.
So what is the next big milestone for Zoloth Holdings? What are you planning in the pipeline? What should our viewers anticipate?
We're working on a lot of things, a whole lot of things, which you're going to see them come up in a couple of months. But its teaser is Cameroon ain't ready for that yet. But before then, before we launch it, they're going to be ready. We're bringing something entirely new to the real estate market, bringing something entirely new, a whole community of people together where everything works. I think that's that for now. And then plus, in regards to construction, we are bringing in automated doors. Yeah, all of those things. Those very catchy. Anyways,
that is indeed a teaser, and I'm sure many of you will want to know how to contact Zoloth Holdings and of course how to contact Madam Louise Beary Anong. So tell us, for the people you have teased already right now, how can they get in contact with Zoloth Holdings?
You can contact us via our social media platforms, on every media platform: Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Zoloth Holdings Ltd. That's Ltd. And of course, we have a whole lot of projects that we're handling. And as a matter of fact, where you went to, the sites that you went to today, we're giving out a plot of land for only 850,000. Yeah, that's on sponsorship, or like the white man would call it, off plan. Because we're yet to execute the project that is to carry out to create roads, earth roads in the area in order to ease accessibility within the property and of course nearby communities. So we have that project. We have a project in Limbe, 400 meter squares land for 900,000, 1.5. We have here in Boya from 1.5 million to 5 million. We have in Douala, Beka Vensis, New Lundi. We have at Corbison in Yaoundé. We have at Kribi, and of course in Yabasi. So if you're looking, we also have a project coming up in the northwest, that's Bamenda. So if you're looking at investing in real estate here in Cameroon or any part of Cameroon at all, southwest, northwest, littoral, center, Kribi, then you shouldn't hesitate to get to us, because we have a wide range of projects for as little as 850,000. So you don't have an excuse as to why you're not investing in real estate as at this point in time.
Truly, you don't have an excuse. So grab this opportunity, contact them now, and make good use of these projects that she has mentioned. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Ms. Diane. I appreciate it.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've just unpacked here with our guest today, Madam Louise Beary Anong. It has been a true inspiration, and I'm sure you have learned that with the right strategy, you can build any empire from the ground up. So, I want to see your comments on the comment section. Tell me, what is it about today's package that caught your attention the most? And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video with your loved ones. I am Diana Nebanku, and this has been Grow with Diana. Ciao!